Hello, and welcome to the Project Creation and Collaboration video module, which is part of the 7 Bridges onboarding lesson. While watching this video, please keep in mind 2 key concepts. The first is that projects are the main organizational unit of the platform, and you can think of them as containers for your files, apps, and your tasks. The second is that project membership enables distributed teams of scientists to collaborate securely in a role-based manner. At the end of this video, you will be able to do the following. Create a new project on either Google or Amazon Web Services. Keep your data private and secure, but add new project members to work collaboratively. Apply different permissions levels to match team member roles. And understand when to use an open data project versus a controlled data project. So in this demonstration, we'll do the following. We'll create a project and select cloud environment. We will add a collaborator and adjust their permission level to set their role. We'll add a project description and project tags, and we'll adjust the project settings for that existing project. So now I've logged into the Cancer Genomics Cloud, and I am on my main dashboard. This is the landing page you get to when you first log in. You can always get back here by clicking the CGC logo in the top left. Your projects will all be listed here on the left side of the screen, and your analyses will all be listed here. Down at the bottom, there's also a couple of other panes, including the Getting Started pane, which has a lot of useful links. And at the very bottom of every page, there is a blue circle with a question mark. That is your way to contact support if you need help. So the first thing that we want to do is create a new project, because that is how we're going to organize our work. So go to Projects, and when you click the drop-down menu, you should see a Create a Project link. Click that and it will open the Create a New Project dialog box. Give your project a helpful name that will make it clear what it is and distinguish it from other things. I'm going to name mine Getting Started Demo Project. Then the next option that you have is the billing group, where you decide what billing group analysis tasks on this project should be charged to. I'm going to be using my pilot funds. You should also have pilot funds. If you don't, stop now and request them from support. If you do, just go ahead and use your pilot funds for setting up this project. Then the next option you have is location. And there's a tooltip icon here. These are scattered across the platform in places where you might need more information. If you click on that, it will tell you a little bit more about this setting. Note that it does say this setting can't be changed later. So what is this setting? This is the cloud storage location that your data and analyses will take place on. You can choose either their Amazon Web Services, or you can choose Google Cloud. If you choose Google Cloud, the only thing that'll be different is you'll be storing your things on the Google Cloud platform, and you'll be using Google Cloud computing resources. If you do have data on a Google Cloud volume, you should choose this because it will be easier for you to analyze your data where it lives. If, on the other hand, you have data that's on an Amazon Web Services volume, you should choose that. I'm going to leave this set to AWS. The next question is your execution settings. I have spot instances on, and that may present the question, what is a spot instance? Spot instances, or on Google, preemptible instances, are less expensive computational resources that can be preempted. So you may have to wait a little bit longer for your analyses, depending on how active the cloud computing market is at the time. but you can save quite a bit of money using preemptible or spot instances. If you click this tooltip, that explains a little bit more about that and gives you a place where you could read more about that if you wanted to. I'm going to leave this set to AWS. I'm going to leave spot instances turned on. Our next option is memoization. This is also called work reuse. I'm going to turn this on because what this means is we automatically reuse pre-computed results. So if I have a task that's going to take 10 different steps, but it fails on the 9th step, I don't want to have to recompute all of those. So I like to leave memoization on. And then your next option is network access. The tooltip says this can be used to further optimize the security of your execution environment. The default here is to block network access, meaning that anything that your task is trying to do where it needs to get access to the internet at large, it won't be able to do. Allowing network access means that all of the software, any execution that's being run, will be able to reach out to the wider network, to the wider internet, in order to access annotation DBI, for example, or in order to install or update software. I'm going to leave allow network access on, but you may have good reasons to want to block it. So that's everything we need to pick. Just click create. And now we are taken to the project dashboard. So again, on your project dashboard, you have a few panes. You have the description pane, which comes with the default description. The members pane, where you can invite collaborators. And again, an analysis pane, which will show you tasks that are running or have run. I think it's a very good idea to add a description as soon as you get started to make sure that you record for yourself what kind of project this is. Many people actually use this description window as sort of a live lab notebook for this particular project. So click Add Description. If you are Markdown savvy, you can use Markdown here. Title of my project. And then you can add in a description of what you're going to do. And click Save. Another thing you can do if you'd like is you can add tags. This may help you, especially once you have many dozens of projects on the CGC. I'm going to tag this demo project. Tags are just a useful way to organize things without having to move them or add metadata to them. Okay, the next thing that we want to do is add a member to this project to collaborate with us on it. I am going to invite my close collaborator, Rawan Beck, and she's already on the CGC, so I can just look her up by her username and find her. But if she was not, I would be able to type in her email address and also find her. You can invite her by email, and your collaborator will get an email. Add Rawan just by her username. And then the next thing you can choose is what kinds of permissions this person should have. The different permissions that are available are write, copy, execute, and admin. As the project owner, I have all of those permissions and can't change them. But maybe I don't want to let Rawan run any tasks. So I'm just going to let her add, modify, and remove files and let her copy and download files. I'm not going to let her run any tasks. So I'll hit invite. And so now Rawan has been added to the project. You can always manage members and update permissions. Perhaps I've had a conversation with Rawan and I do now want to allow her to execute. So with the ability to add members to projects, this will enable you to easily share information across different institutions, share results from your analyses without having to email files to your collaborators. You can simply direct them to the files here. When we're talking about using giant data sets like many of us are, that's a huge benefit to not have to upload something to a Dropbox and have them download it, but instead to just direct them to the collaborative project. So now that we have our members to collaborate, let's look at how we change project settings. So under settings here, we are able to do some administrative things, such as being able to change the billing group if we needed to, being able to change the project name if we wanted to, and changing network access, whether or not we're using spot instances by default, memoization. And there's also a setting here that pertains to memoization. There is a default retention period of 24 hours. And that is how long intermediate files are kept and can be reused. You may wish to increase that time, but you should click here and learn more about it because that could incur additional storage costs. There is also a way to completely lock down a project. And then at the bottom here, if you want, you can completely delete a project. Please be careful with this. Deleting a project is not reversible. And if you add someone else as an admin to your project, they will have access to all of these settings, including being able to delete the project. So finally, we're going to look at our All Projects page. So when you click Projects up here at the top and View All Projects, you'll get an overview of all of the projects that you have been added to. And this window will show you not just your projects, but also projects that you have been added to as a collaborator. You can search for projects, which is handy. I have a few projects with some UC Davis students. And if you want to filter to just your projects, you can by clicking My Projects. And then this is also where that tags feature becomes pretty handy. If you have given yourself some tags to help yourself find things, they'll be right there. There are also other actions here that you can take, especially on projects that you own. You can open notification settings. You can change what kinds of emails you get. You can also, from here, if you own a project, click delete this project and delete it. Again, it's not possible to revert this. So only delete things if you're completely sure that you don't need them. Key takeaways from what we've just done. Projects are private and secure containers for your files, apps, and analysis tasks. You can add new members to your project and specify their permissions level. And during project creation, you can specify the cloud location so that you can analyze and compute on your data where the data lives. That concludes this module. The next module in the onboarding lesson is hosted datasets in the ecosystem.